Hello, hello, welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer, and this evening, from the obscurity of my sauna, I'll be reviewing Virus, the 1998 hardware horror film. Hardware horror film popped into my head because some of the robots are very reminiscent of Richard Stanley's Hardware. Anyway, this is a John Bruno directorial debut, and I think his only, some glare on there, the only film to date that he's directed. More known for a special effects guru, but yeah, we have a sci-fi horror contained movie here. We have some big names in this actually. We have Donald Sutherland, Jamie Lee Curtis, and so big. I suppose he was in the 90s. William Baldwin. He was popping up in quite a few things. Usual Suspects, Flared, blah blah, loads of stuff. Anyway, they're the three biggies. You've got the Kiwi Maori kind of guy who pops up in lots of stuff. He was in Once Were Warriors. Fantastic film. And a few other recognisable faces in this, especially during the 90s. It's like that rotational cast that you kind of tend to get. But anyway, the basics of the film. An alien life force comes down to Earth via a satellite link that is linked to a boat, a Russian boat, a Russian satellite, and they're linked to each other. They're doing some comms thing, and the alien kind of energy or spacecraft gets basically jolted down and takes over this ship. And it just so happens that there's a haulage crew with our main guys, obviously, with pretty much all of our cast, and yeah, they come across this derelict ship, which is the one that got hit by this energy burst from space, and it was left, and it's been a period of time. And anyway, they're like, hey, we can claim on this ship, because it's maritime law or something about that if something is found and there's no one claiming ownership or alive on the ship or anything like that, or whatever they find, it becomes theirs. So they hop on board. It looks a bit of a mess, this ship, and there's all these electrical bits and bobs. They actually do find one of the crew who actually jumps out at them and starts shooting. It's one of these, the acting is quite poor, and like how she's acting, it's like, and how she's like, they're trying to make it be a bit quite crazy. You know, these 90s films are someone's like how she just eats when she's crazy and hungry. It's very, very Hollywood kind of how it is. Hard to describe. I mean, a lot of 90s films look at people how they are. This is very 90s. Yeah, well, basically, very much the film, the alien life form starts making robots, and it wants to take over. And the humans are the virus, with the name of the film. The robot calls them a virus. It wants to be a dominant life form and stuff like that. And yeah, that's a really crude, kind of very quick flick through how the story is. I haven't really got into character development, because it's very generic characters for the 90s. I mean, Christ, did they even bother? It's like just copy and paste generic characters from random films in the 90s and stick them into this. It really is that. There's nothing new to any of these people. You kind of, it's so stereotyped, it's beyond belief. To be fair, there's the majority of this is practical effects, and it's kind of endearing, like how everything moves around. It looks cool. It just looks flimsy as hell, and such a product of its time. Everything is plugged into wires. So I mean, I'm an 80s kid, so like the first couple of remote control cars I had when I was really young, the remote control was linked to the car via a wire. That's how everything is in this film. It's like, what? It's aged abysmal from you look at it from that point of view. It's like, what, plug-in killer robots that you just unplug to stop them. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they look cool. They've really been looking at the Richard Stanley's hardware, like that robot, and they're like, wow, that looks really cool. Let's try and copy that with the main one, which, yeah. The main one is a mix of CGI and practical, and the CGI, it moves really fast, when it's practical it moves really slow. Yeah, it's so hard not to crap on this film, because I think even Jamie Lee Curtis craps on this film. I think most people crap on this film because it should be cool, like killer space robot things looking cool, practical effects, terrible looking ship. I mean, it looks good. That's what I mean. It's terrible. It looks how it is. It's claustrophobic. It's like stuck out at sea. There's no one to help them. But God, they just dropped the ball with this. Like I said, the characters are a huge letdown. It's terrible, and the robots are all plug-in. It just dates it terribly. And yeah, it's great they did the practical stuff, but it just looks like most of the stuff you just pick it up and snap it in half. I mean, what does look good? You get some deaths in this, and the dead bodies get made into like cyborgs, and they're pretty cool. They're pretty creepy. To be fair, they do look good. Again, they're plugged in and are horrendously slow, but they look good. They look creepy. They really do look the part, and they add some atmosphere to that. So kind of, you're flicking through TV channels and you see that part of the film, you're like, it's looking good. Just keep flicking through if you get to that point, because I want to like this film, but it's just not very good. It's so generic. It's such a product of its time, and it's just, it just seems so lazy. I'm sure the amount of work that's gone into this, it's kind of all gone onto the budget. It's like, they came up with a very quick idea. It seems like a comic book sort of thing. Yeah, this would make a great comic book. It really would. Yeah, it's like a comic book that's made into a film, and they just didn't do anything with the story and the characters, and they just blew all their money on these, like, a bunch of kids making robots, and then it's like I said, you just look, they don't look sinister, look like you can pick them up and snap them and throw them around, but the cyborg ones do look cool. But yeah, I think I'm just going around in circles, so I'm going to stop talking about this film. I don't know what I mean. Sometimes I rate films on here, sometimes I don't. There's a lot of effort gone into it, and I really don't know. I'm somewhere between a 3.5 and a 5. The maximum I go to is average, but really should be under average, because it's just such a poorly written film. It's just not good. I'm only trying to bump it up to the halfway point, just because they tried. They tried with the special effects, the practical effects. But that's me stopping talking now. Okay, I've got to go. Have a great week, everyone. I'll speak to you again next week, and click in tomorrow for our #1 Monday night guy, Corey. Thanks very much, guys. Speak to you later. Bye bye.